Hi, glad to see you on my channel. Please support the channel by giving likes, subscribing, and leaving comments. It's not hard for you, but for me it's a huge motivation to create new videos. I hope everyone enjoys it. It all happened somehow by itself. Well, I certainly played a part in it too, but let me tell you all about it in order. My name is Claire. My husband, Peter, and I have been married for 2 years. Peter has a friend, Sam, who also has his own family. Our families are very close. We often go to visit each other and celebrate birthdays together. We have always shared laughter, stories, and wonderful moments, creating a strong bond that makes us feel like one big family. Countless dinners, barbecues, and spontaneous get-togethers kept our friendship alive. We even planned family vacations together, taking weekend trips to the lake or renting cabins in the mountains. We always had a great time, and it seemed like nothing could ever come between us. All of this happened on Peter's 30th birthday. We decided to celebrate it at Sam and Emily's spacious house with a pool. It was the perfect setting, enough room for all of us to relax and enjoy ourselves. We took our alcohol, various treats and decorations to give the party a festive touch, and headed there. Things were going well at first. We laughed, joked, and danced in the living room. We drank to the birthday boy, to love, to friendship. The atmosphere was light and joyful, and it seemed like one of those evenings we would all remember. But towards the end of the evening, I felt sick for some reason. I walked out to the pool to get some fresh air, hoping the cool night breeze would make me feel better. I leaned against the railing, staring out at the shimmering water, and that's where Sam found me. I was pretty drunk by then. He walked over to me, reached out his hand to support me, and made a gesture that couldn't mean anything else. "You're out of your mind, Sam. We've been friends for so long. You go fishing with my Peter, and now you're suggesting something like this to his wife," I said, my voice shaking. "I wouldn't be suggesting anything if it wasn't for what I saw," Sam said, his voice changing from a whisper to a low mumble, as if he was sharing a dark secret. "Whatever you think you saw doesn't excuse you," I snapped, about to walk away, but he held me back, his grip firm but not aggressive. "I thought Peter went after you. You weren't feeling well, were you? I waited 5 minutes, then 10. And then Emily volunteered to go check on him, and she disappeared too. I had a bad feeling, so I searched the whole house and found them in the guest room right at the scene of the crime." "Why didn't you say anything then?" I asked, my heart pounding as I tried to comprehend what he told me. What was I supposed to say? "Hands up, you're caught." "That's stupid," Sam replied, his frustration obvious. I don't know how I would have acted if I were Sam, but right now I was disgusted. As soon as I pictured my beloved husband in the arms of that dyed blonde Emily, I felt sick to my stomach. I began to cry, tears flowing uncontrollably as the pain and betrayal came over me in waves. My whole body trembled, and I felt my knees go weak as I leaned on the railing. Feelings of love, betrayal, and despair raged through me, and each emotion was stronger than the last. "Claire, let's get even," Sam said, stepping closer and kissing me gently on the lips. "It's not too late for you and me. You're hurting and I'm hurting too. Why don't we do something about it?" It didn't seem so wild to me anymore. Besides, I had quite a bit of alcohol in my bloodstream. My reasoning was clouded and my emotions were running high. I felt lost, like I was drowning in a sea of confusion. "Come here," Sam said, leading me toward the pool. "You can count on me. If we're doing this, we shouldn't be ashamed." And I followed him, thinking, if it was okay for Peter, why couldn't it be for me? I deserved to feel something other than pain and betrayal, even if only for a fleeting moment. I wanted to forget, to dull the pain that was eating away at me. I wanted to feel something real, even if it was fleeting and irrational. Sam's arms closed around my waist, pulling me closer, and his mouth found mine. The warmth of his embrace and the passion of his kiss were suddenly interrupted by Peter's scream. I turned and saw Peter standing still with Emily beside him. The shock on his face mirrored mine, and for a moment it was as if everything was frozen in time. The silence was deafening, and all I could hear was the pounding of my own heart. My breath caught as I tried to comprehend what was happening. Emily had already gone to bed, at least that's what she told everyone, but Peter claimed that Sam had just gone out for some air. It turned out that Sam had lied to me, had made the whole thing up, because he'd liked me for a long time. There was no cheating with Emily. Sam used my vulnerability to get his way, and I fell for it. But Peter couldn't forgive me for what happened, and that was the end of it. The trust between us was broken, and no matter how much I tried to explain, it was clear that things would never be the same again. I had hurt the person I loved most in the world, and the weight of my actions was unbearable. The consequences were painful. Peter moved out for a while, and I was left alone to process everything that had happened. I regretted what I had done, but I couldn't ignore the pain I had felt that night, the feeling of being unwanted and unloved. Sam's lies had distorted everything, and I'd made a mistake I couldn't take back. Peter and I tried to talk several times, but each conversation ended in anger or tears. The tension between us was palpable, and it felt like we were walking on eggshells every time we talked. Eventually, he decided he needed space, and I understood him. The distance between us grew, and each day it became harder and harder to bridge the gap that had formed. I spent days replaying that night in my head and wondering if I could have done anything differently. Without Peter, the house felt empty, and every room echoed with memories of the life we'd built together. I missed his laughter, his warmth, and the way he made me feel safe. But I realized I had broken something that could never be fixed again. I had betrayed his trust, and trust, once broken, is hard to rebuild. I tried to occupy myself by throwing myself into work and hobbies, but nothing could fill the void. I took long walks, hoping the fresh air would clear my mind, but thoughts of that night always returned. I wondered if Peter was doing the same, if he was thinking about me, about us, and if he missed me at all. The uncertainty was the hardest part when I didn't know if we had any chance of making things right. One evening Peter came by to pick up his things. We ended up talking for hours, sitting on the living room floor surrounded by boxes. We laughed a little, cried a lot, and for a moment we thought we were ourselves again. But the pain was still there, lurking beneath the surface. He told me that he still loved me, but he didn't know if he could trust me again. Those words stabbed like a dagger into my heart. I knew he was right. I had destroyed something between us, and no matter how much I wanted to, I couldn't put the pieces back together. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I promise to keep sharing stories as real, interesting, and emotional as this one. Your support means a lot to me.